The concept and the idea of a Marvel vs. DC fighting game has been brought up multiple times, especially by the creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon, who said he was interested in the project, to the point where Broly even put out a whole poll asking, what game do you want to see next? And everybody said Marvel vs. DC, obviously. Now I wouldn't mind NetherRealm taking out this project, since, in the words of Sheamus, they've been producing banger after banger games, so it wouldn't matter to me. But, once again, you can give the rights to Capcom and just make the art style look like it's from the comics, but about that, we don't want to repeat a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Just say that. Or Infinite. Whatever you want to call it. But like most people said, I don't see this crossover happening anytime soon again because of both of their parent companies and their egos and junk like that. And if NetherRealm Studios really want this Marvel vs. DC fighting game, I feel like they need to go to Disney to go negotiate with them, which would be the most difficult thing to do. And the reason I say that, just look at Sora in Smash Bros. He barely got into Smash Bros. Because of Disney. And I honestly feel like the closest thing we'll ever get to a Marvel and DC crossover is a Lego game. Which I'll take either way because it's a Lego game. Come on though. But let's say hypothetically, NetherRealm does get the right to Marvel characters and he can make the Marvel vs. DC game. Today we're talking about the roster and what would it look like. What would a Marvel vs. DC fighting game by NetherRealm Studios look like? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, roll the intro. Now, at first glance, since this is a crossover game, you already know the roster's finna be huge. And there's also definitely a handful of popular characters that didn't make the cut. But I actually have a workaround for that. Two, actually. But I'll get into that in a minute. And something that I didn't do, that I should have done, was count the roster size. But internally, I ended up with a roster size of 50 characters, with the two pre-order bonuses being Darkseid and Thanos. Which, for another wrong game, that seems like a lot. But this is a Marvel vs. DC fighting game. And plus, this is a hypothetical game, meaning this is probably never gonna happen. So, and usually what I do with these videos is I go over each character I pick, but not this video, cause that's gonna take like a whole hour to go through. So instead of doing it that way, I'm gonna put up a mock-up of what I made, and I'm gonna discuss it and discuss the character picks. So without further ado, here's the character roster I made. Which obviously you got your heavy hitters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Flash, all of them. And I feel like this is the perfect time to explain the two ideas I have for all the popular characters not getting in. The first idea is to have the cameo fighter system imported from Mortal Kombat 1 to this game, because that's an easy way to get more characters on the roster, and it won't feel like they're missing out. And the second idea I have, which I kind of stole an idea from this guy right here, make sure you go check out his video, it's a really great video. But the idea is to have every clone character from each company be an old costume for the other one. And what I mean by that is basically like Hawkeye being an alt for Green Arrow, or Red Hood being an alt for Winter Soldier. Kind of like Premier Skins and Injustice 2, that basically changes their appearances and dialogue, but doesn't change up their moveset. And there are a few exceptions like Scarlet Witch's Zatanna, which they kind of have different movesets. Yeah, they have the same powers, but they got different movesets. And plus, Zatanna's one of my favorite DC characters, so it's kind of biased, but whatever. And then there's also Wildcard with popular characters like Beast Boy, Static, and Nova on the roster. Now that I got all my roster picks out of the way, and something I usually don't do when I make these videos is go over the story mode. And like, what would the story mode look like? But since this is a Marvel vs. DC video, and I gotta talk about the story mode for the sake of the video, let's talk about it. Now, the way I made this story mode was kind of based off the 1996 crossover, but a little different. Which, if you didn't know what happened in the comics, basically it was these two brothers. One represented DC and one represented Marvel. They basically selected a few characters from both universes, and they had to fight. And whichever universe is lost, their universe was going to get erased. And also, ironically enough, this comic book and the outcomes of every fight was voted by the fans. So basically, it's a popularity contest. But in this game, you get to choose the outcome of the fights by basically choosing which character you want to play as each fight. Also, another thing I changed about this, no Mocking Universe crap. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a merger between Marvel and DC characters. Well, basically, their characters are just merged into one hero. And how that happened was, basically DC lost the fight against Marvel by 1 point, and the Spectre and the Liver Tribunal thought the only way to save both universes were the fuse, and yeah, we got the Amalgam Universe. And also, you see this guy right here? His name is Axis. Apparently he's from the Marvel Universe, although I've never seen this man in my life. And he's basically the protector of a box that leads to a portal that basically sucked in multiple heroes. And guess what? It's only being held together by duct tape. Yes, duct tape. No Amalgam Universe or Access bullcrap. Now I'm not gonna go over the full story. I'm just gonna go over some of the key points of the story. So the story opens up with Batman patrolling Gotham as usual until he notices an explosion downtown. So Batman being Batman, he goes to investigate it. But right when he's about to go investigate it, Batman suddenly realizes there's a bomb next to him. So he dodges all the way and the bomb explodes. And he notices that Green Goblin is in the air and they start fighting. And just as Batman is about to beat Green Goblin flies away. And Batman thinks to himself, I've never seen that guy in my life. And the same thing happens with Spider-Man when he's swinging through the city until he's eventually clotheslined out of the air by Bane. And they end up fighting and Spider-Man beats him. And we get a montage of different villains going to separate universes and fighting other heroes from each universes, like Juggernaut fighting Superman or Shazam fighting Doctor Doom, stuff like that. All of that until the brothers come in and select heroes from Marvel and DC to get them to fight, and whichever universe loses, they get their universe erased. Alright, this takes too long. Let's get straight to the point. Batman and Captain America fight and realize that they're being forced to fight, so they convince all the other heroes to stop fighting and just to team up to fight against the villains, which are not fighting each other, but are teaming up and watching on the sidelines to find the perfect time to strike on the heroes. And then we get a war between the heroes and the villains, which the heroes win, and then Darkseid and Thanos appear, and in an Avengers Endgame level battle, the heroes win. And this all leads to the two brothers shaking hands and everybody going back to their same universes. The end. Oh, and one more thing. Superman or Wonder Woman gotta lose the hammer. I mean, it's only fair. But anyways, that's all I have for this Marvel vs. DC concept. Freak. Anyway, that's all I have for the Marvel vs. DC concept. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Give me your opinions in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.